If you're watching this video, you probably have already done your research about the recently announced 2021 Lexus IS. If you haven't, well, you gotta check out my video because I talk all about it. However, Lexus kept quite a few things under the radar during the unveil, and in today's video, I'll be covering the top 5 things that we missed during the 2021 Lexus IS announcement. And make sure to stay for number 1, guys, because we're gonna talk about the additional powertrain that Lexus has in store for it. Welcome back to the channel, Luxurious Fleet. My name is Kirk. If you're new here, I cover everything about Japanese autos, so make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you do not miss out on any upcoming videos. On to number 5, the Lexus driving signature. In this Lexus IS release, Lexus could not stop talking about the new road course they built in the mountains of Japan called the Toyota Technical Center Shimoyama. The 3.3-mile course was specifically designed to test and develop future performance-bent Toyota and Lexus vehicles. This 2021 Lexus IS announcement was in reality the second fiddle to this newly revealed road course. Townsend Bell, spokesperson for Lexus, claims it cost at least $100 million. The state-of-the-art course is more important to the future of Lexus than this refreshed IS could ever be. Think of the IS as the guinea pig for the test track instead of the other way around. And the course itself is modeled much after the world-renowned Nürburgring Nordschleife. Toyota and Lexus also made this to be as real-world as possible with quick turn-ins and tons of elevation drops and rises. But they should have put potholes every there and here to make sure it's as real-world as possible. Once a new Lexus has been properly tested, tuned, and equipped to handle the course, it receives the Lexus driving signature, which seems like some sort of badge of vehicle capability and driver oneness with the vehicle. Lexus claims that their goal with LDS is to elicit passion with linear steering, acceleration, and braking. And this has always been true for the embodiment of Lexus vehicles. I mean, just take their brake feel, for example. I've driven very few vehicles, maybe some Audis, some like RS7, for example, that I can think of that the brake feel was as good as your average Lexus. And maybe I'm biased, but you guys know. However, there is one big downside to this amazing private course that rises and dips over 250 feet throughout the Japanese mountain. And the downside is that I don't think we'll be seeing any more spy shots of the upcoming Lexus F cars in this super hidden forest track. Coming in at number 4, the difference between base and F-Sport on the IS. And there are quite a few differences. So take this time to smash the like button, grab your snacks and drinks, because we got a lot to talk about here. Nearly everything we saw in the unveil was about the V6 IS350 F-Sport model, and if you want the full-fat 311 horsepower from the 3.5-liter V6 and the IS350, you must also get the F-Sport package. So if you're hoping to get the F-Sport wheels, grills, accessories, things like that on the IS300 or rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, you're out of luck this time around. The base model still looks great and in some ways even looks better than the extra plastic-laden F-Sport model. The base IS gets standard chrome that hugs the edges of the grille, while the F-Sport model sees a black border instead, which seems a little bit more aggressive. Notice the mesh pattern for the F-Sport grille, while the base model has more of a regal, less aggressive, more polished look to it. The rear is similar to the F-Sport except for 2 major differences. Firstly, there is no lip spoiler on the base. Secondly, the F-Sport gets a piano black bumper accent and a rear diffuser compared to the base's matte black finish. Man, I love me some trippy trip. Man, I love me some triple trippies, the triple beam headlights. And man, do I love me some triple beam LED headlights, or what I call trippies. The upgraded triple beam LED headlights look to be available on the base model, but the images that have the triple beams on the base model were taken from the Japanese press release, so I don't really expect them to come stateside, just like how the triple beams did not come to the 2020 models and before. The base model will have a smaller screen as well, unless you opt for the navigation package. And you can see the 8-inch touchscreen is shorter, but it's actually taller than the 10.3-inch widescreen navigation screen. Powertrains, well, we got a surprise here actually. Overseas continues to get the 2.5-liter hybrid that's mated to an 8-speed auto. Americans still don't get this option. Instead, we get the same 2-liter turbo for the 300 rear-wheel drive and the 3.5-liter detuned 260 horsepower V6 for the all-wheel drive. 18-inch wheels are the base option this time around, but there also looks to be a 19-inch option as well for the base model. So no more 17s, guys, I'm sorry. And that sums up the major differences between the two. Yes, you're going to have F-Sport badges about the car on the 350 F-Sport and aluminum foot pedals and things like that. And the last differences between the two models leads me straight into number 3, which are all of the new interior and exterior color options. Other than the overall style of the 2021 IS, I was most impressed with the breathtaking new paint color on the new IS. Well, because we didn't have any powertrains to get excited over, right? In the press release, we were treated to the new color Iridium, which seems to replace a color like liquid platinum. As we look at Sato-san next to his car in Iridium, it's just stunning. But it doesn't stop there. Lexus has 4 new paint colors for the IS, and I expect all of these new paint colors to permeate the entire Lexus lineup in the next 2 to 3 years. Next up, we have Cloudburst Gray, which to me looks like a replacement for Nebula Gray, which is a great color choice. Get it? Great, great, okay. Okay, next is the return of Matador Red Mica, which we haven't seen on the IS since 2015. And let me tell you, Lexus done messed up when they retired this color on the IS. Matador is still available on much of the Lexus lineup, and it's a great color. I think it actually looks better on the IS than any other car in the lineup. And why they canceled it, hashtag Lexus, that's why. So yeah, this Matador Red will be replacing the awful Redline color that we also see on the UX, and it just reminds me of like a 1995 Honda Civic Del Slow. But we also get another red, and that's infrared that is taken from the LC and the RC, and this color is absolutely breathtaking. It's like a futuristic 3D candy apple red. And this is the first time it's on anything other than a Lexus coupe. The last new color to the IS is Grecian Water, which I had no idea what it would look like. So I loaded up the Lexus AR Play app that was launched during this unveil. It's a little too gimmicky for me, but you guys maybe check it out. But it was fairly useful in giving me a rough guess on this new Grecian Water paint color. The closest thing that I could think of in terms of color in the Toyota lineup would be the Cavalry Blue that you see on the Tacoma and the 4Runner. So all of these new colors will be added to the other popular exterior options that include Ultra White, which is likely an F-Sport only color, Eminent White Pearl, you still get Atomic Silver, Caviar, and Ultrasonic Blue Mica 2.0, which is another F-Sport exclusive color. The only other color not mentioned from last year is Obsidian, which is just a glossy black with no metallic in it. So it looks like Caviar will be your only black choice for paint color. On the inside, we see more changes as well for colors, that is, because it's kind of the same interior. Standard Nulux interior color options include black, glazed caramel, and Rioja red. Gone is Chateau Flaxen and Nuance Black, which I've never seen Nuance Black, so good riddance. On F-Sport packages, the options include black, circuit red, and two-tone white black, while the F-Sport Dynamic Handling package is available in black or circuit red interior. Rioja red was previously the only red interior in the car, and it was reserved only for the F-Sport models. Well, that has now been relegated to the base model, while Circuit Red, which is a brighter red, gets the spotlight for the F-Sport models. There are also new ornamentations inside the vehicle, including an aluminum found on the F-Sport. And on the base models, you get to pick from a couple different black options. These are rather useless because the only places I was able to see where these new ornamentations are in like the door armrest where the window switches are. Coming in at number 2, Lexus Safety System Plus 2.5. Safety technology is super important when buying a new car, but I just do not get too excited about it. But I want the luxurious fleet to be as safe as possible, and I'll cover the highlights just for you guys. And no, I'm not going to go over every single little detail about Lexus Safety System Plus 1.0 or 2.0. Instead, I'm just going to touch on what's new about this 2.5 system. It's going to have standard blind spot monitor and rear cross traffic alert, which is great to see because the new Toyota Venza and Toyota Sienna come with these technologies standard. Dynamic radar cruise control also includes a new feature that allows for smooth overtaking of slower vehicles. So if you're traveling behind a vehicle that's going slower as you, and once you put on the blinker, the car starts accelerating actually before you leave the lane to, I guess, make it as smooth as possible. Also with dynamic radar cruise control engaged and activated, road sign assist is going to be able to adjust the speed up or down based off the speed limit signs that the car sees. Which, no one wants that unless it's full autonomous, and that kind of makes sense, right? Maybe we're getting there, slowly getting there. Maybe it's one step towards autonomy. I don't know. Future powertrain guides, that's why you are here. That's why you made it here this far. And it would be a great time to smash the like button if you haven't already and grab your second round of snacks and drinks because we're heading into overtime. Prior to the unveil, we as fans and even Lexus themselves have been hyping up the new IS for some time. During the live stream reveal, which I was watching it, and it was a good time. It was a lot of entertainment, I'll just say that. But we were all on the edge of our seats waiting to learn what Lexus had to say about the new 2021 IS, and we quickly found out that it was a refresh, which I kind of already knew. But it was a heavily upgraded refresh like the 2016 LX was over the 2015. But watchers held on tightly as the powertrains we've been hoping for still had a shot to be announced and hopefully shown off. We didn't have to wait too long when Lexus confirmed that no new powertrains nor new transmissions would be available on the 2021 IS. The disappointment was unanimous throughout the comments and the live chat. And I mean, the current options are great, they're reliable, they got plenty of punch for most on, and you can break the speed limit on most of them. But with the competition stepping up their game with Turbo 6 variants from Acura, Genesis, Infiniti, BMW, etc., the hyped up 2021 Lexus IS suddenly isn't here to compete with the big boys, and it feels trapped with the same powertrains since the 2006 Lexus IS 350. And right before the live stream announcement was to end, we got this clip from Townsend Bell and his co-host Lisa.
Well, Lisa, I loved the last ISF. High horsepower, is a drift machine, but this new IS, I mean, everybody's gonna be asking, is there a high horsepower version coming?
Well, that's at least the second time that you've asked me that question, so let's see if you remember the answer.
I think it was some sort of PR speak about not at liberty to discuss at this time, something like that, right?
Yeah, see, that's why we're so lucky to have you on our race team, because you are a quick study. But yeah, you know, I can't really talk about what is or what isn't coming down the pipeline, but we're constantly listening to our guests, taking their feedback, and you never know what we might see in the future.
So to all you guests out there, get the feedback coming in. Let's ramp up the analytics on that for Lexus so they build one. Only thing I want to know is if it does come, can I drive it first?
Well, you can be second in line behind me.
All right.
How's that? Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Okay.
Thank you all for joining us.
When we'll get this new powertrain offering is anyone's guess, but what we will be getting, to me, seems to be a little bit more clear as I weed out the possibilities. And I'm going to right away take out the V8. As much as I like to see the 2UR GSE return in the form of a new ISF, I don't think it makes sense for two main reasons. Lexus won't be putting the V8 in a vehicle under $90,000 starting around 2023. And number two, I don't think the front end of the IS is large enough to fit the 2UR GSE, and the car would have to be modified for it. This will also throw the vehicle out of balance compared to the V6 offering they've done all the tuning and the adjustments for. So what about the LS500 twin turbo V6? Well, I'm not so sure if you guys have seen under the hood of an LS500, but there isn't a lot of extra room under the mile-long hood. Chances it fits into the IS are probably slim to none, especially if it needs to be mated with a 10-speed automatic transmission. So that rules out the only two somewhat logical high power output choices within the Lexus lineup being put into the new IS. And I don't think there's just one powertrain. I think there's a good chance we get two. I've been doing twos a lot. That's fine. I like the number two. Give me two new powertrains, Lexus. One of them's a new turbo 4-cylinder. This would replace 8AR FTS 2-liter, and it would replace the detuned 2GR V6 with 260 horsepower. This is supposed to debut in the upcoming NX next year. It's a 2.4-liter turbo boosted to around 300 horsepower and 325 pound-feet of torque. This engine would be perfect in the 2021 IS 300 rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive offerings. And in fact, a lot of ways this engine would render the current IS 350 option irrelevant. But based off Townsend Bell's excitement, we know that the upcoming IS will have something a little bit more exhilarating to this 4-cylinder turbo. There have been so many rumors about Mazda and Toyota teaming up with upcoming rear-wheel drive platforms, which I'll have to make another video on. The scope of this video is already blown out of proportion, but let's get back into it. They're working on a lot of stuff together, and one of them is a 3-liter inline 6 with SkyActiv technology. This engine could almost be dubbed the 3JZ, as it will be the last iconic 6-cylinder before mass electrification takes over. This SkyActiv inline 6 is rumored to produce up to 350 horsepower naturally aspirated. Once turbo or twin turbo, this inline 6 could easily make 400 to 500 horsepower, and this engine would not only revive the IS, but bring on a new era of power and performance from the Japanese brands, fueling the future Mazda and Lexus models. With this collaboration with Toyota and Mazda, gosh, we would love to see a fully Japanese Supra and the revival of the once amazing RX lineup. And this new collaboration, guys, it could return Japanese performance to the forefront like it was in the 90s. And that, my friends, is where I have to leave it, and I'll see you guys in the comments on that. I hope I was able to point out some things, guys, that I feel like I missed out during the initial 2021 IS reveal. So what do you think of the upcoming power plans for the IS? And do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? I'd be happy to be both because that's exciting either way, and time will tell, right? So thanks so much for watching. Feel free to support my channel, guys, by subscribing. Head over to my Patreon, PayPal, Amazon, where you can find little cars, and even my Teespring. I have custom t-shirts over there, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. And until next time, peace out, good times ahead.